Sharing your stories and playing your songs on Graham's JFDI Show.
That sounded really weird here. I don't know how it sounded to anybody watching. I don't know how it sounded in the green room. It sounded a bit rubbish. Anyway, it's a Sunday. It's Sunday evening on Coronation weekend. And we don't normally do these podcasts at the weekend, but this is a special. It's part two. We did say we might do this on the road, so an outside broadcast. We've got part two with our swamp donkeys, Andy and Davie. So I'll bring them in and we'll have a chat. And if you've got anything that you want to ask them as I bring them in, good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Hey, Graham.
Very well, thank you.
Good evening.
I was just saying in the green room there, you're actually for having been on the road for as long as you have, you're looking quite energized. Is there a secret to that?
Living the dream. It's just amazing, mate. Absolutely.
Has it been so? How genuinely? How are you both? How are the energy levels? How's the morale? How are the bodies after like all of the time on the bike? How are you genuinely feeling?
We ended up taking a rest day today, and the last 2 days we've taken them quite easy, so we needed that. Otherwise,
right.
We wouldn't, so it's so that's why we're feeling a little bit upbeat again. Sort of the energy has been recharged.
Yeah.
But we haven't had any arguments yet. Morale's still high.
Morale's very high. The first sort of to Athens was a push. There were long days. Since Athens, we've reduced the mileage a bit, and we've had a couple of easy days, even though we've done some tremendous miles. And then today is just topped it off. We got everything, all our admin done, our washing, all the bits and pieces, cleaned out the panniers, got all repacked, redone. So, yeah, ready to chomp at the bit again tomorrow.
Fantastic. So, for anybody that's kind of catching this and didn't see the first, and let's assume that there might be. I think most people watching will have watched the first, but as a little reminder, and we'll come on to the charity aspect of it. We will talk about that before, because we want to try and recognise this effort that's going in here. It's not just a jolly, people. These guys are putting a bit of a slog in there. So tell us a little bit about the route. Just a bit of a reminder of the route. Let's go for what you've done so far, kind of roughly where you've kind of stopped off through the days, whistle stop tour, how far that's covered, and then how many days left and how much what countries left. So we'll do the first bit first, otherwise you want to share it. So
yeah, I left Dublin up to Belfast, across the ferry, met up with Davie. He came down from Aberdeen. So I've already done Ireland, Scotland, England. Davie's done Scotland and England. We headed to Newcastle. We got the ferry from Newcastle to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And then came down through Holland, Germany.
Was that day 1 and 2 then, or was that day 1?
Day 1 we met up. Day 2 we took the ferry
over to Amsterdam. Yeah.
Traveled down to Stuttgart. We stayed over. First night in Europe, we stayed in Stuttgart, campsite right in the city centre of Stuttgart. Following day, we were heading down towards Liechtenstein, and the heavens opened on us. Absolutely downpoured. We were soaked skin. So from a safety point of view, we knocked it on the head in Liechtenstein. We cut off early. We wanted to get further down towards Italy, but the weather was just too bad. So we booked in early. We then came across, the following day was Austria, Switzerland, Italy, into Slovenia. Did we stop off in Italy, or did we go through Italy into Slovenia?
We went through Italy.
Yeah.
Through Italy, didn't you? Yeah.
Just on to Slovenia. So that next night was a night in Slovenia, camping in Slovenia, and then from there into Croatia the following day along the Adriatic coast. One of the best roads, wasn't it, Davie?
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Unbelievable. It was a gorgeous Sunday. The weather was beautiful, and there was just thousands of bikers out along this road. Literally thousands. We pulled over at a cafe on the road, and you could have been watching the Grand Prix. The bikes were going up and down. It was fantastic. Absolutely amazing. So we pushed on down towards Spit. We stayed over south of Spit, wasn't it?
Split, yeah.
Split. And then from there we headed the next day into Bosnia, across Montenegro, stayed in the capital in Montenegro, and then from there into Albania, and then down into Greece, Athens, and then back up where we are now, up through Bulgaria. 2 nights in Bulgaria, and then into Romania yesterday.
Wow. So how many miles do you think? Do you know how many miles you've covered?
Yeah, we've done 5,300 kilometers, which is just over 3,000 miles, I think. So it's
fantastic. Get in. Just over 3,000 miles. Amazing. Yeah. So did I get it right? Was it 10,000 kilometers that you're doing? Miles. It's 10,000. Oh shit. Right. Okay. Yeah. So you've got.
We're about a third of the way. I don't know.
About a third of the way.
But we've broke 3,000 miles.
Right. Fantastic. Wow. 3,000 miles. So, okay, so here's one for you. I don't know whether it'll be the weather you experienced or something else. Of what you've covered so far, what has been each of your individual highlights?
From my perspective, Slovenia and Croatia, the roads, the Adriatic roads.
Yeah.
Something we put on yesterday, which you wouldn't have seen, just in Bulgaria, coming across a couple of camels, just eating, you know what I mean? Sort of, and then the experience of being chased by a pack of dogs out of Romania into Romania. So that was a bit of a.
You were chased by a pack of dogs
at the border.
I couldn't video it because they don't let you video at the border. So they chased me first. I got through first the border, and they chased me. I was meant to stop for Davie, wait for Davie to get through, and I had to keep going because there was about 7 or 8 dogs chasing me. So I pulled in, and then I started videotaping it, and Davie, I could hear the dogs going again. I said, "This must be Davie." Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, for me, similar. I mean, the Croatia road, that was just amazing. If anybody's into bikes or even an open top roof car, like a convertible car down that road is amazing along the Adriatic coast. That was a huge highlight. Athens for me as well. To have your driving your bike in the city of Athens was fantastic. Absolutely amazing.
That I did see, and it was the first video that I saw that had the text along the bottom, and it just came up. It said about riding through Athens. That's an experience. I can't say I mean I know of our European cousins that the Greeks are known and renowned for some like pretty harum scarum driving in their cities. So being on a bike in Athens, I can imagine that you had to have eyes on every orifice, every part of your body, because Absolutely. They just come from everywhere, right?
Yeah, it's scooter mayhem. I mean, half the population must have been in that city on scooters, and they just come from every direction. It was, you have to have your wits about you.
Yeah, I think one highlight myself as well, though, is some of the people we've met.
Oh,
you know what I mean? We bumped into Lorraine and Boz. He was on his 60th birthday.
Fantastic couple.
Lovely
Absolutely
couple.
Fantastic. They're pure famine deniers, but brilliant.
Whereabouts did you meet them?
Croatia, wasn't it?
Yeah, Croatia. And then we met Kostas, who run a bar, and he's pretty much just hosted us a little bit for the night. And it's just all these little things that
was in Greece.
Add up.
Oh, it's fantastic.
So the Greek people and the Croatian people have excelled in their hospitality as well. Then have they?
Oh,
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, good. So apart from the weather, has there been? You said, I don't know, it was after we went live or just whilst we were chatting. You said no arguments yet. Apart from the weather, have there been any lowlights? Have there been any sort of been any moments where it's been a bit tough?
I think it all evolves around the weather. When you're sitting there in the seat and you're absolutely soaked and you can't, it's just drying your clothes out and your gloves and then your jacket and then so it's just a constant. And once you're wet, getting back to some form of dry and warm. In fact, you had one day that you were really cold, weren't you? Was that day? So
it got in at me, right into my bones, basically. I was just fearful.
You're not getting any younger, Andy.
I know. But it was just, I've ridden in rain loads of times, like numerous times, but this was just constant. It was, we were on the Autobahn, so it was full on, and it was bucketing down, torrential rain, but also the amount of lorries and cars on the road that were just pushing all the spray back onto you as well. So it was like being in torrential rain and getting buckets of water thrown over you at the same time. Like,
yeah,
that was, I wouldn't say a low life, it's an experience, but it made us
challenge.
It challenged us, and it made us make a decision for safety reasons to come off the road.
Yeah.
Now, the same experience coming into Greece, but because there was nothing on the roads in Greece, I think everybody in Greece knew there was a storm, apart from two plonkers coming down on the bikes. We were the only people on the road. So that decision was easy because we weren't getting all the spray. There was nobody, literally no trucks, no cars, no nothing on the road. We had the motorways all the way down on our own. So we were able to push on at slow speeds. But the Germany, Liechtenstein, we had to knock it on the head early. That one. But I wouldn't call it a low life. It's just another one of the experiences. You know,
it just, I think, when, like you say, how does it feel for somebody that's never ridden a motorbike when it feels like you're being bucketed on and you've got traffic all around and it's peeing from the heavens and you've got to focus at, I don't know, what speeds are you doing, around what, about 60 or slower than that?
Well, on the
motorways, yeah, about that.
Obviously, if you're a car driver, truck driver, and you're overtaking a motorbike in that sort of weather, in that rain, don't pull straight in front of them because they get the spray right in the face.
Yeah,
you know, give them a bit of breathing space. But yeah, you do get it. Especially the German Autobahns, they were so busy, really busy.
Yeah.
And our aim was, like, our tour. We both said our tour really starts from Slovenia. Like, Davie lived in Germany, and I've been to Germany, so it was just to get down to Slovenia, where we've never been to Slovenia, Croatia, or all that part before, Eastern Europe, Balkans, and so forth. So that was the aim. But yeah, it was an experience getting through that.
Brilliant. I was just speaking to one of my neighbours about the differing types of rain, and how you notice the different the rain across the continents. We get this dreich. It's very rare that we get like kind of like steel rod, but I can imagine it just bouncing off the Autobahn, and that feeling of I am a very small person on a slightly larger bike, but surrounded by a lot of machinery, a lot of weight, and a lot of chance for one small error to result in carnage. That can focus the mind, right?
Oh, that's what tires you, you know. And I remember saying to Andy at one point, it felt like hailstones. It was coming down that hard. It was just feel it, even with
there was a part you couldn't see the white lines.
Yeah,
all the road markings disappeared under the water. Like, but yeah, it was only the 2 days. The day from Stuttgart to Liechtenstein, that was the bad one, and then into Greece. That afternoon, it started around the border of Albania, Greece, So that afternoon was a bit bad. But other than that, the weather's been fantastic for us. We've been so
great.
blessed. So a day and a half of bad weather, really, out of the 12 we're on the road. So
you are both looking like you've got a little bit of colour in the face. I'm going to say, I know that you're going to tell me that's windburn, Graham. Right, listen, here's one for you. Sometimes you remember these, but the fact we're recording this and then you can forget. Have there been? It's the JFDI show, so it would not be right of me to ask you if there have been any tunes, if there have been any songs played at any opportune moments that have given the opportunity for a smile or a little giggle here or there.
Apart from us singing to each other,
no.
I think they sort of.
Tell me more, Davie. What have you been singing to each other?
We started singing "Here We Go Again." You know, "Here we go again," because the rain kept on coming down, and it was just. And then we had about 5 minutes singing away, laughing, and joking. But that was a way of coping with it. So it's but we've not really been listening to music because we've been going along. Just been chatting most of the way.
Yeah, just chatting. Do you have the? I take it that you've got like the intercom set up, so you're like talking to each other all the way along.
Again, it's very handy to chat, but again, it's another safety feature as well. You can warn Davie if Davie's behind me. I can warn him of any potholes or anything like that. Right. Bulgaria was pothole. That was good. A lot of potholes. Albania was pothole. Bosnia was pothole. Bosnia was probably the worst. But yeah, no, it's great to be able to chat and talk and this, that, and the other, but also it's a good safety feature that we can keep in contact that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have a feature to record those conversations? I know you record the ride, but record what's going on under the helmet.
No, we don't record the conversations, thankfully.
No, what goes on detachment. Excellent. So we're in Romania at the moment, and it's a couple of days you're having a break. So what's the plan from now? What happens next?
Tomorrow we leave here tomorrow morning. We're on the Black Sea, right out in the coast in a town, city called Constanta. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm blown away by Romania. Absolutely blown away. It is fabulous, absolutely fabulous. And we head inland tomorrow morning. We're going towards Bucharest, north of Bucharest. We're going to the Transfar Garrison, which is, as Jeremy Clarkson described it, as the best motoring road in the world.
Oh, so wow. Okay.
And beside that one, there's another one called the Transalpina. So we're going to try and get both of those in. Definitely one, if not two, to both of them, depending if they're passable or not. I believe they are. So that's our plan for the next 2 days. So a day to get over there. I didn't realize Romania is huge. A day to get over there. We'll get accommodation close to the road, Transfar Garrison, and then a full day doing those two roads. Then we head towards Hungary.
Right. Okay. Hungary. So what? And then what? What happens when you get to Hungary?
Well, we're heading north. So it's Hungary, Slovakia, Poland,
Lithuania,
Latvia, Estonia, Finland, Norway, Sweden, Denmark. Yeah, we've got a bit to go yet.
Right. Okay. So in terms of what's left, is there a strict? I guess it's not a strict plan, but what? How are you in terms of like on target for like the dates that you'd set and stuff like that? Have you made decent ground to like where you had hoped to be by now?
Yeah, we're quite close. Didn't realise how long it is actually going to take, and we decided we'll miss out Istanbul. We didn't go to Turkey because it's going to add a couple of days on, so we sort of missed that out. But I would say we're pretty much on schedule, should we say? So it's hopefully by the weekend we'll get up to Estonia. That's a rough plan, and then that'll give us a couple of weeks to get around Scandinavia anyway. So So that's the plan. So.
Yeah, the most northern point in Norway, Nordkapp, is where we want to go. But you're looking at, it's a 2,000-mile drive back down.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah.
From the tip top of Norway. So we're looking at, that's one of the highlights. So from Athens, way down south to way up north. So we're going from the Mediterranean to the Arctic Circle, basically.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. It's,
what you said one of the highlights. What are you both looking forward to the most about the next sort of leg of the journey? Which I guess is a really hard question because there's going to be so much, in so many different countries. But is there something? I guess what you'd said there about what Jeremy Clarkson said. I guess the next few days, the start of the next leg is going to be quite an interesting one by the sounds of things.
The next couple of roads, yeah. Once we get Romania, those two roads, because any biker will tell you that's a road to do. So it's once we pass, we don't really look too far ahead because with the weather and everything, we just take it on board and then say, right, okay, plans change, and it's changed about 3 or 4 times already of exactly where we're going to go, where we're going to stay. So although we're saying we're going to stay in Hungary, it may end up we just go straight through Hungary up to Slovakia. So and when we're there, I don't think the only burning thing that we'd really want to do is hit the Nordkapp of Norway because it's that most northerly point. Everything in between is pretty much a bonus, I think.
Yeah.
I'm loving, my highlight is I'm loving the culture changes we've come through Central Europe down to the Balkans, down to Greece and back up. And now we're going to go into Eastern Europe in Poland, Slovakia, Lithuania, Latvia. And I'm looking forward to seeing the culture changes there as well. And then into Scandinavia, which is a completely different
change again.
So I'm loving the Balkans. The people here are just fantastic. And the architecture, you can still see, especially in Bulgaria, the communist Soviet sort of architecture, buildings and so forth, still in the towns. It's fascinating, absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that actually, because that the whole idea of having a loose plan but being able to be flexible and do what you've done. I'm going to ask you. You mentioned a couple of the highlights in terms of the people that you've met. Did any of those people that you met come about after you had to deviate from your plan? So in other words, had you actually stuck to the plan that you had, would have meant that you might not have met those people. Did that happen at all?
Yeah, first night.
Yeah, we met 3 fantastic Scottish lads in Stuttgart. They were camping opposite us. And we went down, there was a bar on the campsite. We went down for something to eat and we were setting up our comms because we hadn't set up our comms properly. And there was nobody in the bar, it was empty. So we were just chilling there and we were literally about to go home, go back up to the tent. And the 3 Scottish lads came in their kilts. Absolutely the nicest lads you could meet, absolutely brilliant lads. And we wouldn't have met them, only we deviated into Stuttgart.
Yeah.
We went, I was supposed to stay in Stuttgart.
Yeah. See, I love that because our brains are wired the other way, aren't they? Quite often that we always find reason to complain about situations that we've been thrown into, but we don't often stop and consider the situations that we've been thrown into that are good, that might not have actually happened had things, originally kind of panned out the way that we had hoped them for. Yeah. So, I love that. Tell me a little bit more about the chap that you said hosted you for the night. That sounded like the story that I love, where somebody's just taken you and gone, right, I'll look after you, I'll feed you, I'll drink you, I'll give you what you need. That very traditional hostelry.
Yeah, we were just at the bar, and it's where we were sitting, overlooking the sea. It was getting a bit chilly, so we just went in, and then sort of the barman's there, and we're trying to get local beers, just to see what the local beer was like. And then he come round, how far are you going, just to start to explain. And we sat there for literally hours, finding out that this was his bar. It's open all year round. He runs it with his brother, and his English wasn't perfect, but it was good enough to have a conversation with. And it was just, it's meeting those kind of people. Like the guy, we're in Romania just now. I know a friend in Romania, and he's given us his flat for a couple of days. You know what I mean? He's got a holiday flat. Yeah, have it for the weekend. And so went out for a meal with him last night as well. Yeah. So it's all those
little things. See, it's off season, and there's so many hotels that are giving away. They're all starting to get geared up for next month. So they're bringing on the staff. So they're offering these rooms for next to nothing. So the resorts are all so quiet. So when you go down to a bar, you're more than likely going to get talk to the bar staff because they're the only people that are around, you know. So
right.
But what we're looking for is cheap. You've got three costs on the road: accommodation, food, and petrol. They're your three main costs. So if you can reduce those, I mean, we've got accommodation for twin rooms for €20, so it's €10 each, and fantastic shower and a bed. You know, that's all you want when you're on the road. So it's brilliant that way.
It's like, it sounds the expense side of things sounds very similar to the Camino de Santiago that we did in the terms of, I've loved some nights that you've had like a little motel. You'll have had you've had like a little room that you say you paid €20. There's been a few nights where you've just had a pitch and you've camped out as well. What have the campsites experience been like? You managed to get any sleep?
No, very good.
Very
Croatia,
easily.
very clean. We camped in Croatia and Slovenia.
Yeah.
But then we discovered that the hotel rooms are cheaper. So
all the pitches for the tents.
Yeah, it was €17 for a pitch in Croatia. And it was literally €20 for a hotel in Greece. You know, so I mean, we couldn't have picked a better time because it's off season, as I said. But yeah, we've had a couple of good camping sites. The Stuttgart was good. We met the Scottish lads. But since Croatia, we've been staying in hotels because they're cheap.
It's just as cheap to makes sense, doesn't it? Have a bed. Yeah, cheers. I know, and I know at your age, as much as you're out there doing it, a night in a bed indoors. I know this because I've done it. I'll take a night indoors with a roof and a bed over a tent and a sleeping bag. I mean, I'll do the tent and sleeping bag if I have to, but I know my preference. It's give me something a little bit. Yeah, nice work, gentlemen. Okay, listen. Before we let you, it's 8:30 out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So is this? Will you be finishing this and retiring for the night, or have you yet to eat, or will you be going for an evening libation, or are you early night? I know it's your day off. So what's the plan for this evening? Or
I think it's going to be an early night.
It's
to be honest,
night. We want to get to Transvaal Garrison.
That's what people want to hear. Early night. Yeah, you've got to restore your energy. None of this out partying or anything like that. Not you two.
Yeah, I mean the whole area, this area as well as a resort, it's all very quiet because it's off season. So there's not a huge amount going on. I mean, we've had some. Last night's sleep was one of the best I got because I knew today we were just doing cleaning day, washing and so forth. So there's no hectic. So we got a great rest last night. Going to have the same again last night, but we'll be up on the road by 7 a.m. Tomorrow because we want to get out. We don't know what the traffic's like heading towards Bucharest on a Monday morning.
Yeah, so it might be.
Want to get ahead of that. Yeah, but it's been early night tonight, morning.
What I'm going to ask you about. I'm going to ask you just to give people a little reminder about the charities in a second, but. It is Coronation Weekend. Did you have a chance to catch any of the celebrations or the ceremony?
Area. Dave's a real loyalist. He loves the king.
I was going to say we can cut anything out that you need, but we can't really. I saw your face, Davie, as soon as I said it. I was like, okay, you can't hide that now. It's great if it's audio, but the fact that it's a video, you can't hide it. Right, okay. you want to tell us about Sam H, Davie?
Yeah, certainly. Sort of, I'm doing it for a charity called Sam H. It's a Scottish Association for Mental Health, who provide mental health support across the whole of Scotland. So there's 6 main centres scattered around, but I think there's 40 help places around. So it's not just about helping people with mental health. It provides support for those who want to support people with mental health as well.
Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. And how much have you managed to raise so far?
So far, I've managed to raise about £1,300.
So yes, brilliant.
I've been very, very well supported at the very start. I haven't had any donations since I've been on the road. I don't think, maybe 1 or 2. But sort of,
right.
so it's
well, we can pop the links in the comments below so that people can, anybody that's enjoying the videos, which I'm sure everybody is. In fact, we've had some comments. We'll do them before we finish as well. Yeah, but let's see if we can get that up, because, like you say, great cause.
Yeah. One thing I'd like to remind people as well is, although I'm doing it for Sam H, Andy's doing it for a different charity, so there are 2 different links. So it's just to make sure sort of. If they're given to me, it's to Sam. It's not to Andy's charity. Just so people are aware.
But yeah, we'll pop the both in. Yeah, Andy, do you want a reminder about your charity, because they're both different, but they're both great. Yeah, in their own.
Again, a similar charity in Ireland. It's Pieta House. It's known as, and again, all to do with mental health. They started off in a small little house, not too far from where I live. And they've built up to be one of the biggest mental health charities, but they do rely heavily. Oh, thanks, Maria. She's Romanian, actually. She's a good girl, top girl. Maria, your country is beautiful, absolutely amazing. So charity Pieta in Ireland. Anything at all, if you can help at all. A small amount means an awful lot. So thanks a million, guys. And for those who have donated so far, unbelievable, guys, unbelievable. Thank you very much.
Smashing, excellent. We couldn't finish without getting that in as well. I just thought I'd show you some of the comments there. We had Ali tuning in earlier on, saying hello. We had Joanne as well.
Hey, Joanne. Good to hear you, Joanne. I work with Joanne.
Mr. Morris as well.
Mo, how the devil are you, buddy?
Good tuning in. And Maria as well. Oh, she's still watching. She said, "There you go. Great to hear that." There you are. Oh, and not forgetting. Look,
Barlow gets in there.
Just blown you both a little kiss. Fantastic. Right. Listen, gents, I will let you get away and get your re-energizing sleep. I don't want to say beauty sleep. Clearly, neither of you need it. But is there anything either of you would like to say to anybody else before we wrap up?
I'd just like to say thank you to everybody that's supporting us, and to continue to support us, and also to those supporting the families at home, particularly my wife and son, etc. So all those that are supporting them, thank you very much.
Yeah, big shout out to my wife and my son Sean, my daughter Amber. Miss you loads. Can't wait to see you again. But I got to get this trip done. It'll be home soon.
Fantastic. Well, listen, on behalf of everybody at home, gents, on behalf of everybody that has watched and that's helping you along, I will say, on behalf of all of them, keep up the good work. Stay safe. Keep the videos are fantastic. I'm loving them. Just like I say, I think importantly, great that you mentioned the safety aspect. You're not going to do anything silly, not too silly anyway. So just enjoy yourselves. Enjoy yourselves. Keep the videos coming. Keep in touch.
I'm still learning about the videos step by step, but hopefully they're getting better.
They're wonderful, honestly. Like I said to you, and I'm sure people will continue to comment on them as well, and we'll get them shared out. It just does our little bit to kind of help and get some more money for the charity. So listen, you two look after yourself. I will say thank you very much to everybody else for tuning in on a Sunday evening. We'll catch you all very soon. You two stay where you are, and I'll say goodbye to everybody else.
Thanks,
Thanks everyone.
Thanks, everyone.